The Bowling Green hockey team faced off against Ferris State on Friday, November 16th at the BGSU Ice Arena in front of an announced attendance of 1,836 people. It was the first time these two teams met since the Falcons knocked Ferris State out of the CCHA playoffs this past March. Despite a ferocious third-period comeback, the Ferris State got the best of the Falcons, winning a 4-3 game in overtime.
This inconsistency is what we've got right now. Andrew Hammond makes a bunch of big saves, and then they shoot one off the back of his leg for the third goal. I mean, and again, that's not blaming anybody. That's where we are. He kept it at 3, but it should never have been 3, So that's where we are. I don't know if we can sum up a game like that, with the exception of saying we're not consistent enough, and it's every day.
After a scoreless first period, Ferris State got on the board first 6 minutes and 44 seconds into the second period when Corey Kane blocked a shot and took it down the ice on a breakaway. It was a shorthanded goal for the Bulldogs, the 5th time this season that BG has allowed a shorthanded goal.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Frustrating is fair. I'm so frustrated, so disappointed with that. We got guys struggling with their game. I mean, Marcus hit the guy right in the shin pad, and because his head was buried in the ice, which he's struggled with all year, and it ends up in our net. So very, very, very frustrating, disappointing that's happening still.
Ferris entered the third period up 2-0 thanks to a goal by Kenny Babinski. A goal by Kyle Bonus made it 3-0 in favor of the Bulldogs midway through the third period. However, the Falcons would not lay down, as Bulldog kryptonite Dan DeSalvo put the team on his back and got the Falcons back into the game, much like he did last postseason. With just under 8 minutes to go in the third period, DeSalvo scored his first goal of the season to get the Falcons on the board.
Face-off play, tying up with my guy. I really don't know what happened. Burkle said it hit off his skate, and I saw it right in front of the goalie, so I just took a whack at it and it went between his legs.
DeSalvo said the goal helped fire up the Falcons.
Well, yeah, I think he gave us some firepower. We were trying to stay positive on the bench. And I know something like that, a big play, a big hit, something like that usually gets the team started, so I think that helped.
The Falcons pulled to within 1 just a minute and a half later, with Ryan Carpenter tipping DeSalvo's point shot. The goal seemed to give the Falcons a bit of momentum as they were playing noticeably more physical than they had earlier in the game.
When the first one went in, that's what changed. There was some positive momentum, a positive feeling on our bench. What we're trying to do in the power play is simple it down and make it easy for everyone, which is obviously Dan DeSalvo shoots it on net and Ryan Carpenter tips it in. That's about as simple as you're going to get.
The goal came on the power play for the Falcons, which snapped an over 32 drought the team had with the man advantage. DeSalvo said the team just stuck to the basics, which helped them get better chances on the power play.
One thing I think that we could do better is get a lot more shots on net in the power play. I think we move the puck around pretty well. I just think that we don't get enough pucks in the net. So we talked about it in the locker room, a couple passes and take the lane and shoot it. Carp made a great tip.
Adam Burkle tied the game at 3 with a strong power move to the net. However, that would be all the Falcons would get in the game, as 14 seconds into overtime, Garrett Thompson scored off of a rebound to give Ferris the 4-3 victory. The Falcons peppered Ferris State goalie C.J. Mott throughout the game, forcing the sophomore goaltender to make 33 saves. The Falcons outshot Ferris State 36-27 in the game. Despite facing the lower number of shots, Bowling Green goaltender Andrew Hammond played an exceptional game, making a number of big saves to help keep his team in it. Despite the outing, Bergeron said that he feels Hammond is still fighting with his consistency, and that is something he would like to see him improve on as the season goes along.
I think that's where he's at right now. He made some big time saves to keep it at 3. We had just tied it, or I don't know when. One of our defensemen makes an absolutely ridiculous play at their blue line, which is again just happening. It happens every day in practice, and Hammy has to make 3 saves, 2-on-1, and big time. So. But then their third goal is a bank shot off his leg, and because he was out of control, he wasn't sharp. He was falling. It looked like. So his consistency is something he's fighting with as well. But again, he's no different than anybody else. I thought overall his game was good. But we needed to be a little bit better than that.
BG is averaging only 1.7 goals per game, which Bergeron says puts pressure on the team to defend well.
Generally, not scoring goals puts just so much pressure on your team, and it makes your margin for error small. The shots were 25 to 14 after 2 periods. We're down 2-0. 5-on-3, we couldn't score a goal, but I don't think then we have to make it. We have to make it go in. We have to find a way to will it in, and we didn't do that. We did it at 3-0, but we needed to do it at 0-0. We had a 5-on-3 at 0-0 for basically a minute 50 and didn't score. That's just not acceptable.